Hi everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. So today is a soft glam look and this is the look I've created. I'm using a couple of different products actually that I haven't used before, just to give you kind of a taste of what products I'm loving at the moment and also my go-to eyeshadow palette. You can probably guess what it already is, but this has been a favourite of mine for a long time, so I wanted to just use it in a tutorial, and this is my go-to look with the palette. So I will do a couple of other tutorials with it, but for now, if you want to check out how I got this look, then keep on. So I have just started, I look a bit crazy, but I've just started with my 3-in-1 hyaluronic mist from Ellen & Jo, just sprayed that all over the face, and then I have applied Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Filter in the shade 3. The reason I'm not going to go through this too much is because I do have a full video on it on how to use it and my 7 different ways to use this product. So if you want to check that out, feel more than welcome, or feel free to, I should say. But for now, I'm just going to use the product as the primer for today's look. So this is going to be glam but soft. So it's going to have nice kind of summery shades, but still look a little bit glam. So once I have that done, I am conscious of my pores a lot lately, so I'm going to use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm going to use a flat brush. I'll show you the type of brush that I love. I love the Blank Canvas F81 for this, and it's that type of brush, and I'm just going to apply this into the areas where my pores are most visible, which is kind of around my cheeks and up onto my nose. Next, I'm going to use the Second Skin Dewy finish from Sculpted by Aimee in the shade Light. I don't have any tan on, so I'm using the shade Light this time, and I'm going to use the Morphe M439 brush. I'm just going to pop that onto the skin. I do find, I've said this before about this foundation, I do find it applies much nicer with a brush, and I kind of pat it into the skin. Whatever foundation you're using, just make sure you've really worked it well into the skin and that it's not as obvious on the skin, and the shade is really important. So I'm going to go on to concealer next, and I am going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW20, just because I do want a decent coverage under my eyes. And I am going to use the concealer, the large airbrush concealer 117 from Fuchsia. I absolutely love these Fuchsia brushes, they're amazing. And I'm just popping that under the eye in a kind of a V shape, but not really trying to be too strong with my concealer. I don't really want a very obvious concealer. I just really want to just hide the under eye dark circles, and that's really all. Not massive amount of highlighting because I don't want it to, I want it to be quite soft. I am just pressing this out with a beauty sponge. Now, I don't really like to use this foundation with a beauty sponge, but I just find I'm better off if I have concealer on it. I'll show you what I do when I'm finished. And then I do like to get my foundation brush and just kind of pat along the area where there could be a line. I just find sometimes there can be a line if I use a sponge over this foundation. So that's really it. I am going to just use, I'll use in the same concealer or a different one. I've actually just picked up the Instant Age Anti-Age Eraser from Maybeline in the shade Light, and I'm just going to put that down the centre of my face just so that there's no real severe look under my eyes. I'd rather just kind of even it all out. Just popping on some of the shade Warm, the SoSu contour stick, just to give, I love this. I know people think cream contour can be very, I suppose, glam and dramatic, but I actually find it very natural looking. I'm going to use the F41 from Blank Canvas just to buff that out. It's my favourite brush for any kind of product, any cream product. I even love it for foundation, it is amazing. You can see it blends out gorgeously. The key is with everything is just to make sure that it's blended right, otherwise it's just not going to look right. So just keep going until you're happy. Don't be in a rush, because it definitely is worth adding that little bit of extra time to blend. Then if you want, you can just press back over with your beauty sponge just to make sure that everything is even out, so, or blended out, should I say. So because there's a tiny bit of foundation on this, it kind of just blend in that little bit more, and that's what I really like about using this technique. For the face today, I am going to use a lot of Revolution products actually. I just pulled them out and I thought it'd be nice to use them. So I'm going to use the Ultra Blush palette in All About Cream. So this is the cream palette. I love these palettes. You can see all them shades are amazing. So I'm going to pick up, what shade am I going to use? I'm going to use a kind of a peachy shade from this palette. And I'm going to use the same brush as I did to contour. And I'm just going to pop that on the apples of my cheeks and blend it back. Just blending around that just with my foundation brush with no new product on it, just the same amount of product that was left on it. just to get rid of any harsh lines. And then if you want, you can just press over with your beauty sponge. Just going to set the whole face. I'm going to use the RCMA translucent powder just to set the whole face. Like with the foundation, I prefer to press the powder on top of this foundation. I just find I get a much better result. I gave this tip in my brow tutorial, but running a little bit of powder through your brows really helps them to stay nice throughout the day and stop any oil coming through. It's a really good tip. And then I'm just setting my under eye. Moving on now to bronzer, and I'm going to use the bronze palette All About Bronze from Revolution, and you can see the dirt of mine. But I'm going to actually use this shade and this shade, a mix of both of them, and this is going to be my contour / bronze. I might need to use a different bronzer, but let's see how we go. And I'm going to just apply it with the F04 from Blank Canvas and just really working into the cheekbones and up into the temples. Then with a larger brush, I'm going to take that more bronzy shade and I'm just running back over that just to give a little bit of warmth to the cheeks. I'm actually going to use it on the whole face, up into the forehead. And I'm actually going to bring a tiny bit of this down onto my chest because I'm always conscious that if I'm adding bronzer to the face and I have matched my foundation to the rest of my body, then I need to add a little bit of bronzer. I'm then going to use the Dream Blush palette and I'm going to use some of the peachier tones from this palette, the top two there. And I'm just going to use the F87, mix of them too, and pop them onto the cheeks. I have to say the quality of these, and if you are kind of a makeup artist or even if you're training as a makeup artist, I remember when I was teaching makeup, all the girls were using these type of palettes and they are so good because, look, I look like Aunt Sally. They're so good because they give you such a variety and they give you so many different kind of options for different skin tones. So it's brilliant. I'm just taking my bronzer brush and just blending that product out just so it's not too severe. But yeah, they're brilliant. I really enjoy, I have to say I really do enjoy the Revolution palettes. They're dead handy. Loving that cheek. Very nice. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put a bit of a highlighter on and then I'll probably move on to the eyes. So a little bit of highlighter, I'm going to use the Ultra Pro Glow palette from Revolution and I'm just on to my cheekbones. So I'm going to move on to the eyes and I am going to use the BPerfect Clientele palette. This is in an absolute bits because I've used it to death, but I want to use it because I just love it and I want to show you my go-to soft glam, which is using this palette. I love it. I'm going to use the Perfect Prime from BPerfect to prime my lids. Genuinely one of the best eye primers I have tried. I really genuinely, hand on heart, enjoy this primer more than I would say any other primer I have used. We're going in with the shade Gigi, which is this beautiful kind of cranberry shade. Going straight in with that one. And I'm just pressing that onto the outer corner. And slightly blending up into the crease. I'm taking the SK02 from SoSu. I just find this a better brush for this type of product because you can see I have quite hooded lids, so I get that real gap in my eye. I kind of like the bigger brushes don't blend right into the crease, so I need a smaller brush. So if you have that problem, this brush, the SK02 is deadly. It's from the Kaylee collection. So I'm just kind of working it into that circular look. And I'm going to take the Aimee Lonnie brush and I'm just blending back over that. And I'm kind of bringing it, so I only started on the outer corner, but I'm just going to bring it into the inner corner as well. I'm just going to take a clean brush and blend out that line. As I said, this is supposed to be a soft glam, so I don't want to go too strong on it. I'm then taking Dirty Tan and I'm taking the Fuchsia 215 brush and I'm just blending slightly along that line. Just blends that out nicely. Very light strokes. And circular motions almost, actually. You can see that just softens that down, which I love. So I'm going to do the same on the other eye and then I'll be back. So I'm back now and I'm going to take Date Night, which is the most beautiful kind of champagne-y bronzy shade. I'll take it with my ring finger and I'm pressing that onto the space that has no product on it at the moment. I'm grabbing a flat brush then and I'm just going to almost carve out my crease without actually carving out my crease. I'm just trying to get that line. Just with the shadow though, I haven't put anything else underneath it. I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to do the same on the other eye. So you have the same brush and you're almost feathering the shimmer out to meet that darker shade. Just slightly feathering, it's kind of pressing on top of it, so it's going to feather out to meet that other shade. Then all you do is grab your brush that you've been using to blend out, and all you're doing is kind of going back over that line just to make sure that it's not so severe, so that you have a nice blend between the two shades. Taking the same brush that you've used for the outer V and the same shade, and you're going to go under the eye. Our same brush you used to blend out, no new product, and just blend. Just making sure that the eyeshadow at the outer V is connecting up to the part of the eyeshadow on the top of the eye, just to make sure you get that gorgeous look. Taking this same brush and Dirty Tan, which is that kind of bronzy shade, you could actually use a bronzer for this as well, and you're just running along the edge of this look, just the edge of the under eye. So what you can do at this point is grab a little pencil brush and whatever darker shade you want. I'm going to use actually a dark brown instead of a black, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the outer corner of the eye, just so that my eyeliner that I'm going to put on will stop at that point and will just blend up into the eyeshadow, instead of being a big harsh line that just kind of ends at the end of your eye. It doesn't go into a wing or whatever. So this is a great tip to kind of blend that eyeliner out. So I'm back and I'm looking a little bit different, and I just want to show you what I've done with my eyes, because my camera actually died, so I had to go ahead and instead of wasting time, I did my eyes kind of off camera. So I've done my brows, and you can see my full tutorial on my brow tutorial IGTV, and then I've gone ahead and used the SoSu Eye Voltage liquid liner, and just kind of literally just went along my lash line, kind of stamping it along as I went, and I finished at the end there, and I just literally got that pencil brush and blended out the eyeliner at the end, just to blend it up into the colour, the darker colour that I had placed on it beforehand. I have then applied the Luxe Silk lashes from BPerfect in the shade, or in the style Focus, and I'm loving these. They're so wispy, and they're really, I have another one and they're more cat eye, whereas these are more rounded. I love them. So, oh, and I did apply a highlight the inner corners and just slightly under my brow bone, and that's it. So I'm going to go on to my lips now, and I'm going to use the Perfect Precision Lip Liner from LA Girl in Sugar and Spice is the shade. I'm just going to outline my lips, and all I'm doing is I'm lining the lip and then slightly bringing it down onto the lip, and then not going on the very, very outer corner, but I'm taking my baby finger and I'm just kind of blending down onto the lip. But I want to kind of keep that definition on the outside as well. I'm then going to take the Penelope pink lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. I've only got a tiny one. I'm going to apply that. One thing I did want to mention was, actually I'll do my lip gloss first. It's the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fussy, and I'm just going to pop that on to the centre. One of my favourite lip glosses. I love this. It's so nice. It gives the pouty look without any stickiness. I love it. One thing to say, because we did use a kind of a cranberry shade and it blends out quite pinky, it's very important that you do line your eyes. So if you're not putting mascara on, or if you're not putting lashes on, still make sure you put a lot of mascara on, some eyeliner, black or brown, just to define. Otherwise you'll just have that pink look to your eye that just doesn't look great. It's grand for photographs, it's grand for like photography makeup, but in real life it can make you look very, very tired and very, very drained. So that's just a little tip to make sure that when you are using a pink based eyeshadow, to just have that definition in your eye by putting lashes on, mascara and eyeliner. And as ever, finish off with some setting spray. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your favourite products are that I've used today, and let me know your favourite look for a soft glam. What would you kind of opt for? I often opt for this, or I would opt for maybe like a really blown out brown fading into black full eyelid, you know, that kind of rounded look. So I might do that in a different video, but for now this is the look I created today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll chat to you soon. Thanks so much for watching.